Thank you, Madam Speaker. Tonight I rise with the sad honor of recognizing the retirement of my friend, colleague, Congressman Jim Oberstar. He has served the residents of Minnesota's 8th Congressional District with distinction for more than 36 years. Jim is the Dean of the Minnesota Congressional Delegation, and all of us, House and Senate, are deeply grateful for his commitment to our state. To many people in Washington, D.C., he is Chairman James L. Oberstar of the powerful Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. But to most Minnesotans, he's Jim Oberstar from Chisholm, the heart of Minnesota's Iron Range. For those of you who don't know about the Iron Range, it can be a tough place to grow up. Lots of cold weather and a lot of hard work, but it has lots of great people. The hard lessons of his early years served Jim well in Washington. He knew how to fight for people and causes that he served, and he always worked for progress in a way that honored his principles. During his time in Congress, Jim made a career out of creating good jobs and building America. His priority was investing in the future prosperity of his country, literally laying the foundation of a 21st American economy. And I'm proud to say he's been my partner in building a modern transportation system in the Twin Cities. Next month, major renovations on the Union Depot in St. Paul, a modern multimodal transportation hub, will create 3,000 construction jobs. Only months later, construction begins on the Central Corridor, the light rail between St. Paul and Minneapolis, creating thousands of more jobs. Neither of these major investments would have been happening without Jim Oberstar. He had the vision to plan for the future. He has also demonstrated his leadership in times of great crisis, and he's been effective. On August 1st, 2007, the Interstate 35W bridge collapsed in Minneapolis, and 13 people lost their lives. The chairman raced to action and helped secure emergency legislation that rebuilt the bridge, reconnected our communities. But he didn't stop there. Chairman Oberstar worked in Congress to call attention to the epidemic of weak bridges all across this country, and he made bridge repair and replacement a focus of the Recovery Act. Because of Jim Oberstar's commitment, thousands of bridges across this country were replaced or rebuilt through the Recovery Act. Millions of Americans are safer today because Chairman Oberstar recognized Minnesota's tragedy was an American crisis. Jim Oberstar not only served, he served well. He not only worked hard, he achieved results. He was a true ranger. His roots of loyalty to the needs of working families in Minnesota across this country could not be beat. This institution is about to lose a great leader. But it's inheriting a legacy of commitment and fairness and professionalism that should serve as a model for all of us. On behalf of myself and the Minnesotans I represent, I extend my thanks and my best wishes to Chairman Jim Oberstar. Madam Speaker, I ask for unanimous consent to insert in the record various letters of support for Chairman Oberstar.
Without objection.
From Congressman Eric Paulson, Congresswoman Betsy Markey, State Representative Tommy Rukavina, State Senator Saxe Hogg, State Senator Tom Bach, State Senator David Tomassoni, the Honorable Don Ness, Mayor of the City of Duluth, the Honorable Christopher Coleman, the Mayor of the City of St. Paul, and the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners and their rail authority. Madam Speaker, now I would like to yield to Congressman Jim Oberstar.
The most memorable moment for me was the day that Senator Hubert Humphrey came at the invitation of Speaker O'Neill to address the House of Representatives. Never in the history of the House had a senator been given that privilege to address the House. And as Hubert Humphrey stepped to the speaker's, to the clerk's desk, just below the speaker's table, he looked across the expanse of this body and he said, "Oh, you don't know how long I've wanted to be here." Of course, that is where the President stands to give his address to the nation. It is, in my mind, the greatest privilege in life to be chosen by the people to serve in this greatest legislative body in the world. I have had the great honor to step into the hall of the Mother of Parliaments in London, the House of Commons in Canada, l'Assemblée nationale et le Sénat de la France, the Bundestag in Germany, the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, the Parliament of Australia for their first sitting in their new parliament and the 100th anniversary of Australia. But in all of those venues, they look to this dome and to this house as the voice of the people. I look back on years of service. They've been wonderful and inspiring years. My life has been touched by the people of this 8th District, whom I've had this great privilege to represent. And in these last 4 years, and I keep my report card with me, of the 110th and 111th Congress, we held 316 hearings, heard from 2,201 witnesses, 1,028 hours of hearings. We had 41 markups and 180 bills reported to the House, 276 passed by the House, and 179 public laws and resolutions. And in our portion of the stimulus, I can account for 1,300,000 construction jobs, $4.5 billion in payroll, $919 million in taxes paid by those working on construction jobs across America, and 35,311 miles of pavement built during this period of the stimulus. Those are lasting benefits that will prove beneficial to future generations. And they're much like the rest of my body of work, that I can look back on my service and say, I've given it my best. I've served the people to the best of my ability and to the gifts that the good Lord has given me and that my parents stimulated in me. But at this juncture, in these closing hours of this Congress, I am reminded of Adlai Stevenson addressing a college graduation. He said to the graduates, "As you leave, remember why you came." Why I came was to serve the people to the needs of their respective families, and to leave this district, to leave this house, to leave this nation a better place than I found it. I hope I've achieved that goal.